Hey, in this video, we're going to check out how to put veggies on the sandwiches. So first off, I have everything kind of diagrammed down on the veggie side of the sandwich unit. So we have lettuce, tomatoes, spinach, onion, green peppers, cucumbers, the knives, salt and pepper, parmesan, oregano, olives, oil and vinegar, pickle, banana peppers, jalapenos, and the sauces. And then over here on the left is where we keep like extra backup. I don't have it here at the moment, but we'll put like an extra lettuce here, olives, banana peppers, and pickles, and extra sauces on the left-hand side. Okay, so let's check out how to do some veggies on the sandwich. So of course there are weights and measurements for all the veggies that you're supposed to put on, but obviously you can't measure it when you're doing it for customers. So you gotta kind of go off by the look and feel of it, which I'm going to show you in this video. So I'm just going through showing all the different veggies that you can put on: sauces, pickles, banana peppers. And on the left hand side is again all the extra stuff. So if you run out of pickles, banana peppers, and jalapenos on the right hand side, you are going to use the left hand side to fill up the right hand side. Okay, the next thing to know is kind of where to stand with the customer when you're doing the veggies for the customer. So stand kind of like right here, okay? So hopefully the customer is standing approximately right here in the line. And then this gives you access to all the veggies in this area. All right, so then 2 points. So like, if they're doing like a little bit of veggies or as opposed to a ton of veggies. Okay, so let's talk about a couple of like golden rules before we get into this. One is, in general, new employees will over portion. I'll write that right there. Okay, so in general, the natural tendency of a new employee is to put too many vegetables on the sandwich. Okay, so I think this comes from a good place that you want to give the customer like a really good sandwich and a good value. But the problem is that when you over portion or put too many veggies on, it does two things. One, it wastes money. Okay, so you're putting too many veggies on, and things like olives and stuff like that are extremely expensive. So you're wasting a lot of money on the sandwich when you over portion. And the second thing is you make the sandwich very sloppy. Okay, so a good sandwich is the exact perfect amount of vegetables, not too many vegetables. Okay, so if you put too many vegetables on the sandwich, when the customer opens up the sandwich to eat it, it's going to be very sloppy. Okay, so you want to watch out for those things. In this video, I'm going to show you kind of like what it looks like to put veggies on, and you're going to copy or replicate that same amount. All right, so let's check out. So let's say first scenario, the customer only gets, say, like lettuce and tomatoes. Okay, so in that situation, I may put a little bit extra lettuce and a little bit extra tomatoes, depending on the situation, right? Because that's all they're getting. All right, so tomatoes and cucumbers, it's going to depend on how big they are. You're just going to put just enough to cover it. Now, situation 2, what if the customer wants every single vegetable? Okay, you need to be careful and cut way back on all the veggies. So do less of each. So for lettuce, you may want to do something like that. Tomatoes, just enough to cover the sandwich. Spinach, be careful of spinach because you could put way too much and it gets really sloppy. So just enough to cover a sandwich. Just enough cucumbers. A couple of green peppers. A couple of onions. Okay, I'm going to put a couple of pickles. Now, pickles are very strong tasting, so make sure it's very easy to grab a big handful of these and just plop them on the sandwich, and it's just way too much. So always be very careful of that. Okay, I would do maybe about that many olives, and then that many banana peppers, and then that many jalapenos. So about 3. Okay, so that is a sandwich that has everything on it. Notice how the veggies isn't this big huge mound of veggies and it's impossible to close the sandwich. Okay? And then in case you missed that, look at that. I'm using a knife to help me get all the veggies in the sandwich and close it. Okay, now look at the sandwich. So I got all the veggies in the sandwich, but it's not overwhelming. Okay, so this is the perfect amount of veggies. Let me write this down. So you want the exact amount. So customers can ask for more, but go with the default amount. Okay, so this would be the default amount for a sandwich that gets everything. Okay, and if a customer wants more pickles, they want more olives, they want more tomatoes, you can always add more of all those things, but always start with the default amount to start off with. Okay, so this is a good looking sandwich. It's easy to eat. There's not like 600 pickles on there that's gonna make me not be able to taste the turkey. Okay, now the next point, the shakers. Okay, so I grabbed the salt and pepper shakers. So one problem is that new employees will hold it too high. So let me get my pen out. So they'll hold it way up here, right, and try to shake it on the sandwich. What happens is it gets all over the lettuce and all this stuff, right? So you don't want to do that. Okay, what you want to do is hold the salt and pepper shaker closer to the sandwich so it doesn't get all over the place when you shake it. Okay, so we don't want it to get salt and pepper all over the cucumbers. Same thing for the pepper, the Parmesan, the oregano. All right, and these are the oil and vinegar bottles, so you can spray that on the middle of the sandwich, about 1 or 2 passes. Okay, so that would be the default amount of veggies for a sandwich that gets everything. Okay, so remember this picture. Let me go back to the end here. Okay, so this is what you want your sandwich to look like when you put everything on it. And then just go from there. If the customer wants more, then you can add more.